I just got through watching Companion. I give it a 9 out of 10. It stars Sophie Thatcher. Great movie, great acting. And I'm going to give away some spoilers here. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it first. And I want to talk about a possible plot hole I thought about. But it's the story of a guy named Josh, and he gets a robot girlfriend, cyborg girlfriend. And he jailbreaks her. And he uses her to murder a Russian guy that he knows. That way that he can steal his money. And she ends up breaking free from her boyfriend, and she gets her phone back, and she changes her intelligence level and all of that good stuff. And I thought it was a really great story with a lot of dark humor in it. But the one thing is, at the very end, there's two technicians that come to pick up Sophie Thatcher's character, Iris. And they're like, yeah, we'll go back and we'll check the recordings. And they tell the boyfriend this, and he's the one that did all the bad stuff. And they tell him, they say, there's recordings of all this, and it's not in her head, and it's in her stomach. Well, Josh is the one that jailbroke her, so he should have known that there'd be recordings somewhere in the robot. You know what I'm saying? We all know that today. Here in 2026, we know pretty much all of our electronic devices are spying on us to some level. That's what freaks me out about the flock cameras. It's like everybody's worried about the flock cameras, but let's be honest, all of us are carrying around phones that are tracking us. But also, the technician says this right in front of Josh. Yeah, it's all stored right here. And on the way out, the technician says to his buddy, the other technician, he goes, oh, he definitely modded her. And so he knew that the guy was possibly, responsible for all of this death. So he really shouldn't have said that in front of this possible bad guy. Yeah, all the information is stored right here in the stomach area. Like I said, the best part about this movie, though, is I love the main character, Josh. Because if some of these hackers are so full of themselves, and they're out to get you. And I love the ending where he's like, say that I mean everything to you. Say that I mean everything to you. And that's what he wanted to hear. Because a lot of these hackers are like that, man. And it's just how people are. And they're so full of themselves. Like I said, the only plot hole was I think he really would have known that the storage was in her stomach, and I think he would have known that there was recordings being made. And actually, in this day and age, it's probably be recordings made and backed up to a server somewhere, up to the cloud. I hate that. You go and you're on your desktop and you try to delete a file, and it's like, cannot connect. I'm like, why are you even connecting out? I don't want you to connect out. I want you to stay on my computer. Why are you sending files out to a cloud server? You got to go in and turn that off, or else it wants to save everything to OneDrive. I don't know what they're using it for, to spy on you, to give it away, to use for AI modeling. I don't know. It was like Snowden. When Snowden happened, I was like, yeah, all those guys are spying on us. We already know that. I already knew that. But everybody else is like, oh, they're spying on us. And it's like these flock cameras. The flock cameras are out there. And I'll be honest, they're going to rename them and call it something else. The technology is too cheap now. But like I said, go ahead and see Companion if you haven't seen it. And I've given away part of the story already. But it's got a great story, great ending. And I'm of the belief, though, at the end of the story, though, I'm still like, she's just a robot, it's still ones and zeros. There's no real emotion there. But they make you feel like Iris, Sophie Thatcher, did have emotion. And that's a good movie. It's a good movie. Anyways, what'd you think? And what do you think about the plot hole? Do you think that the hacker guy, the guy that jailbroke his girlfriend, you think he would know about the recording in the stomach? I think he would know about that. Now, it's just like a lot of technology today that people go on and they find out how to jailbreak something, but they don't necessarily know how it works. That's why they end up downloading viruses. So maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe he did just ask his hacker buddy, hey, can you create a jailbreak for me? Or a mod. And, but it makes you think a whole lot. And that's another sign of a good movie. Anyways, leave a comment.